From the Bob Barker Studio at CBS in Hollywood, television's most exciting hour of fantastic prizes, the fabulous 60-minute Price is Right. Julie Woods, come on down. Jared Bradshaw, come on down. Aaron Shamey, come on down. And Nora Canine, come on down. You are the first 4 contestants on The Price is Right. And now, here is the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Take 10 with Shane and Michelle. We are an entertaining view of life's magical moments in Florida and beyond. And today, we have a tribute video that we'd like to do. Many of you probably know that an entertainment icon has left us. And at 99 years old, the legend Bob Barker passed away this week of natural causes, as you would at 99 years old. They said he passed away peacefully at home. And I think it's hard to find somebody on the planet who does not know Bob Barker and his role for 35 years as the host of The Price is Right. And I am telling you, I probably watched that show thousands of times growing up. Even as an adult, I would try to watch it. I remember it being on at 11 a.m. During the week. My mother always had The Price is Right on. So yeah, and
we always were guessing like to how much anything was,
yes.
and I think some of that when we were a kid, we were like, oh gosh, the refrigerator and the washer and dryer, who wants that? And then when you become an adult, and you're like, okay, yeah, we want that.
Bring it on. I loved it. I loved when they did the new cars. I always wanted to be the person with the new car.
I'd love to give you that. A new car!
My favorite game was Plinko, where they drop the disc into it and try to get, I don't know, I think you could get like $50,000.
She's looking pretty good again. She got it. $23,000. Come on.
Yeah, so I think we should probably explain why we have the young kid down with us, because she is the next generation of The Price is Right. We have Miss Delaney, which you may have seen on our vet pet check, because you know she is our vet. We're going to be vet here soon. But Delaney has a very unique experience. She was on The Price is Right. My favorite game, I don't know. I think that big wheel was weighted, but we'll hear from Delaney because she got to actually spin that big wheel. But you know, winning the showcase show prize and all that, we all dreamed about that. Like, what can we do?
And to be a Barker's beauty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. A lot of women got their start in modeling by being on The Price is Right. And Delaney, you'll have to share your story. I watched it not terribly long ago just to see, you know, Drew Carey, and there's men and women as the Barkers. Well, it wouldn't be the Barkers beauties anymore. I don't know what they call them, but it's equal opportunity now.
Yeah.
All right, Delaney. So tell us, how did you decide that you were going to try to go to The Price is Right show? What happened?
Yeah. So my family's very into game shows. They really enjoy them. They applied to be on The Price is Right. And I can tell you a little bit about how the process goes for those.
Yeah. How do you do it?
Well, you kind of get in a big, you wait in line. So the tickets are free to go to the show. So everyone who's in the audience has an opportunity to be on the show. They put you in a group of like 40 people, and they just kind of go down the line and they say like, what is your name? What's your occupation? where are you from? If you're lucky, they ask you like what's your favorite game? Me and my sister were deciding, hey, we're gonna go out to California. We're gonna go see the Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, so might as well go out there. And so we went out there, and on the last day, my sister Abby was like, well, like, I know you're missing school, so let's make this opportunity worth your while. Let's go out to the Price is Right. I got us some tickets. So me, my grandma.
Wait, I have a question. How do you get tickets? How do you get
You
the
just
tickets?
go online. They're free online. This was pre-COVID. This was 2019.
Okay.
So they probably do it the same way right now. But
Okay.
so you have to get there early enough, and you have to get there like punctually, or else you won't have the opportunity. They have like they cut off the line. So we went in line, and my mom always said, like, as soon as you get there, that they're watching you like every second of the way. So you got to act cheery, make sure you're friendly, make sure you're always like on your top of your A game. So my mom was really the one, and my sister Jennifer were the one that really prepped me for this. The audience has like 300 people, so they group you off. Then they came to me, and I was like, hi, I'm Delaney. I really want to be a vet student, because at the time I was in undergrad. And I was like, I love animals, and I want to save animals for the rest of my life. And my sister was like,
oh, that's a good one. Oh,
and I had a
Have you
shirt.
got spayed or neutered?
Yeah,
that's
neuter. That's what Drew Carey always says at the end of his show. So
did Bob Barker.
Yes,
Bob
I
Barker
did.
did.
Yes.
Yep. So you can't hear them at all when you're in the studio. So they sit you down, they organize you the way they want you to be organized. So you kind of have so not everyone's grouped in a corner. And then everyone's being so loud and cheering, so you can't really hear them call your name. So they have a big poster board that says your name if you get called up. And then the very last time they call someone down, we're kind of like defeated at that point. Me and my sister were like, man, like we bought grandma. This is supposed to be our lucky charm. We didn't get called up yet. And all of a sudden you see my name go up, and it says Delaney Lyons, come on down. And I was like, oh my gosh. And next thing I know, my sister's pushing me, and so is my uncle, and they're like, get up there, get up there. So you're like running down to the contestants row in the front. And I was so nervous. I didn't know what to do.
Do you remember what the prize was that what did you bid on?
So I only had one chance, because I was the last person.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was the first person, since you're the last person you can hold up, you're the first person to bid. So that means anyone after me has kind of a better chance, because they could go one over me. And then the only number that would work is the number I said. So my favorite number is 8. So I said that it was a wireless Google Pixel 3, I think, wireless charger and phone. And I think I said it was $850, and the person after me said like $900, and then we got a couple of like lower balls, and maybe another person said a crazy higher number. But since she didn't say 951, I had everywhere from 850 to whatever that number was that she had. And I think it was like 875. And so you'll see me on the screen. And at first I thought I didn't get it. So I'm like really like, oh man. And I turn around, and then I get pushed back up on stage, because they say like I got it. And I was like, what the heck? That wasn't me. It's because I couldn't do the math in my head fast enough.
Oh, that's
You ran up on
awesome.
stage.
So I ran up on
You're running
stage,
up
and I give Drew Carey a hug. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. He's like, I heard something about, he asked me where I was from, and I was like, oh, I'm from Ohio.
Oh, yeah, he's from Ohio too.
And he's from Ohio too. And my shirt said something effective like, we love the Buckeyes, or Drew and the Buckeyes. And the back of my shirt said like, let's see, it said something to do with like, I want to save animals, or something like that, with a big picture of a dog on the back. So the game I played was the squeeze game. So it's where they have like 5 or 6 numbers up on the screen, and you have to take one of the numbers out to make the
Item.
the
Right.
item of the prize. And it was a trip to South Africa. And I know. So me thinking that it was worth a good amount of money, I took out the third number, which was a 0, to make it a $13,000 trip. Instead, it was a $10,000 trip, unfortunately. Drew pats me on the back. He said, "Don't worry about it, because we're gonna spin the wheel." And then the funniest part, my sister thinks this is hilarious. After I didn't win this trip to South Africa, they play Africa by Toto.
Yes.
In the background
Lots of
afterwards.
rain down in Africa. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I went to spin the wheel. And
were you number 1, 2, or 3
I
to
was
spin
the
the wheel?
first one to spin the wheel.
First one?
The first
Because
one.
you lost your game.
Lost last.
Yeah.
Lost the game, yeah. And they kind of prep you beforehand, but I only had what felt like 3 seconds in between, but it was probably more like 5 to 10 minutes for them to prep you and be like, okay, you need to hold the wheel here and pull down. Make sure you do not fall over. So that's pretty much what they said in the meantime. The 2 guys behind me had these great spiels about how they were so excited that they were gonna say hi to, and then they had a list of people. I didn't even have a list of people in my head, to be honest. I said my sister's name twice, my grandparents 3 times probably. So I was like, I want to say hi to my grandparents and my pop-up and so they make fun of me all the time for that now. They're like, oh, grandparents and pop-up got twice. But it was really fun to spin the wheel. And I actually
was it heavy? Was it
really heavy.
It looks heavy.
It is heavy, and they prep you that it's heavy at least. And so let's see, I spun the wheel and I got, I think 60 or 65. And
that's not a good one.
Yeah, my sister Abby, we did this thing beforehand. So the day before we went to the Price is Right, we decided that we were going to study up as much as we could on the Price is Right, every single thing we need to know what to do. So she's really good at numbers, and she's a chemical engineer. So she's like, I did this math statistics kind of thing. And if you spin over a 65, you don't spin again. But if you spin a 60 or a 65 and below, you should spin again if you're the first person. And if you're the second person, you should do it if you're 70. And you had this down to the wire. So
I'd say that's a good tip. That's a good tip if you're trying to go on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Be cheerful and study up beforehand. So then I got really nervous in the moment because I couldn't remember if it was 65 or 50. If you're the second person, I was like, what person in line am I? So I'm looking out into the audience, looking for my sister to tell me what to do. I'm like, where's Abby? And I see Abby and she's like, go for it. So I spin again and I get a 5. So that either made it 65 or 70. I think it was 70. Because then the guy behind me spun
that's an interesting number.
I know. The guy behind me spun a 65 and then he spun over. So I kind of forced him into having to spin again. And so then after winning the spin off, I went to the Showcase Showdown. And it was me against Gerald, who just won a car. So I didn't feel too bad. I was like, okay, I got this. Gerald already has a car. So Gerald's son is in the front telling him what to bid. So he told him to bid I think it was 2,300 or something.
20,000?
Sorry, 23,000.
Okay.
And so I knew in my head Gerald way undershot what he was what it was.
23,000 is the car.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, all I need to do is get close enough, but not go over, but get closer than what Gerald. So I'm in my head trying to do the math. I'm like, okay, so at most it's probably 29. So make sure carry the 3, that kind of thing. So okay, I can get pretty close to that. So then
what was yours? What was
my
your
showcase was let's see, it was a all-inclusive trip to Cancun. So for 2, it was an indoor bar, and it was let's see, and it was a pontoon boat / a party barge. So at the time I lived in Ohio though.
We needed that. Shane, we needed that.
The funniest part, I'm 20 years old.
I could have bought it now.
I know, I could really need it right now. I didn't need the indoor bar because I was like I was 20 and I didn't
For the
really
trip.
need a boat or a trip, but we got all. So then bid I bid 28,000 some change left because that's just yeah. And so
And 8 is your lucky number, so you
8 is
said
my lucky
28.
number. So I ended up getting it. I was only like $2,000 off.
30,925.
And so yeah, we ran down. My grandma came on stage. It was so fun and so what's a memorable experience having like my uncle there, my sister there, and my grandma just to share in that really awesome experience was unbelievable.
That is so cool. Now, did you have to take the prizes or do they allow you to take cash value?
You have to take the prizes. You can afterwards like you have to pay taxes on it as well.
Right.
And let's see.
Like immediately, like while you're there?
No, they send it to you like later on throughout the
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. Indoor bar, they oversold it in the stores, so they just sent me the money for that, but I wasn't expecting that. So,
Wow. Okay.
yep.
So you now, if I remember, you went on the trip, didn't you?
I did go to Cancun and I brought my parents with me when it was so fun. It was like I think one of their first times out of the country and one of mine as well. And then that was so cool. A very memorable experience. It was all inclusive. So we got dinners.
And what'd you do with the boat?
And I sold the boat. I took it. The funny part is they called me and they asked me like, where would you like the boat? And I was standing in the I was standing in my kitchen with my dad and I gave him our address and my dad says, we are not having that boat come here. We're gonna get written up by the homeowners association. So we actually called them back and they sent it to a marina close to us, but they drove it all the way across the country from California to Ohio for us. And like obviously we didn't have to pay for that. So
Right.
and it came on a trailer. So that was pretty nice too. So yeah, there's a lot of logistics that have to go along with it too, because then you have to take, if you want to sell it, you have to take the deed in, you have to get everything transferred, but it was all worth it for that experience. And since I sold the boat, I was able to use some of that money to pay off some tuition. So
have you been to any other game shows since?
I have not. So once you go up on the prices, right, if you get called up, then you have a 1-year kind of pause to when you can go on game shows. And then if you get called up and you win some prizes, or if you win the showcase like I did, you have a 10-year stop. So you can't go on The Price is Right or Let's Make a Deal or that kind of stuff. And
Shane, this sounds like a game show for us.
Well,
you just have to be very cheerful and say that
we've got to go to it. I mean,
shut us up. What do you
one of us on that stage, we would go off the flipping rails. I mean,
yes. That's what I tell everyone is that you just need to be like your spunky self.
No, I think this might be a bucket list kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe we need to take Delaney with us because she seems to
she'd be our good luck charm. And our costumes on Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady. Oh, I can picture it now. That might be the other one we have to go to.
Okay. All right. I'm up for it.
All right.
Great.
We'll add that to the list. Well, Delaney, this was delightful. Thank you so much to actually meet not only somebody who was in the audience of The Price is Right, not only somebody who got called up to Contestants Row, not somebody who made it to the stage, somebody who won the flipping showcase. Incredible.
Lady won the showcase. When we found out, when she's like, I can't tell you, but then she was fine. I was like, what? The lady won the showcase? Are you kidding me?
Oh, it was
That's
such
crazy.
a memorable experience. Yeah.
Well, Well, Bob Barker was wonderful. We just wanted to do, I knew you won, and I just thought this would be a great episode behind the scenes because a lot of people don't know, how it all works. And I think it's pretty cool. So we really appreciate you coming on. And so does Obi. Obi, so you can tell Obi's thrilled back there.
He appreciates your love of dogs and that you shared that on The Price is Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Spayed or neutered. I think that helps you.
Everyone, make sure to have your pet spayed or neutered.
Yep.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Shane, I think that's a wrap.
I do too. I think, Delaney, we'll see you again on another pet chat here soon. So make all your moments magical.
In Florida and beyond. Until next time, everybody, like, comment, share, and put in the comments if you've ever had the opportunity to get on a game show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Rest in peace, Bob Barker.
Oh, rest in peace. Yeah.
Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.